In a day of fast-paced developments linked with the extradition of Tahawwur Hussain Rana, the National Investigation Agency took custody of the 26/11 Mumbai attacks mastermind on the orders of the Special Court in New Delhi. The anti-terror agency had produced Rana before the NIA Special Court at Patiala House after formally placing him under arrest on his arrival at IGI Airport following his successful extradition from the United States. Rana will remain in the NIA custody for 18 days, during which time the agency will question him in detail in order to unravel the complete conspiracy behind the deadly 2008 attacks, in which a total of 166 people were killed and over 238 were injured. NIA had secured Rana's extradition from the US following years of sustained efforts, and after the terror masterminds last-ditch efforts to get a stay on his extradition from the US failed. Rana was brought to New Delhi, escorted by teams of NSG and NIA comprising senior officials on a special plane from Los Angeles. The extradition finally came through after Rana's various litigations and appeals, including an emergency application before the US Supreme Court, were rejected. With the coordinated efforts of India's Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Home Affairs, along with the relevant authorities in the United States, the surrender warrant for the wanted terrorist was eventually secured and the extradition was carried out. NIA had worked closely with its counterparts in FBI, US DOJ and other agencies through the entire extradition process, which marked a major step in India's efforts to bring individuals involved in terrorism to justice, irrespective of which part of the world they had fled to.
The foremost purpose should be get as much information and intelligence on how it was plotted, how it was carried out, and who all were involved. And even in India, there were people who innocently or otherwise, I repeat, innocently or otherwise cooperated. Because sometimes people have done it innocently, but sometimes may not be that innocent. So we should get to know facts as in depth as much as possible. Now, coming to retribution, that is, well, it is not unimportant, but it has lesser importance. And thirdly, we should handle things in such a way that, touchwood, in the future, if there is a case which we make for extradition, no one should be able to say that we did not treat this person correctly. So these are the things. So we have to be careful about the urge to seek retribution.
All right, let me now quickly go across to my colleague Deepak Badana, who's live from NIA headquarters, New Delhi. Deepak, a very good morning to you. Do go on and tell us what's the latest on Tahawwur Rana. What is the buzz around NIA headquarters?
Good morning, Neha. Well, the area around the NIA headquarters in Pragati Vihar is, packed with security detail. And almost a kilometer before you even reach the NIA HQ, you'll find heavy police presence. Some visuals the team has sent already, which show you that the streets are deserted. Metro stations here, the Gillen, one metro station, two gates, and both of those are closed. Only one of the Gillen station.
Deepak, I'll have to interrupt you. In fact, your audio is not quite clear. We'll try to reconnect with you. But in the meantime, for those who have just joined us, this is the latest that we are bringing for all our viewers in connection with the extradition of Tahawwur Hussain Rana. The National Investigation Agency took custody of the 26/11 Mumbai attacks mastermind on the orders of the Special Court in New Delhi. Right on your screens are the exclusive pictures of Tahawwur Rana after he landed in New Delhi. Of course, not the front picture, but we can see his back, and there he's landed with the other NIA officials. The anti-terror agency had produced Rana before the NIA Special Court at Patiala House after formally placing him under arrest on his arrival at the IGI airport following his successful extradition. Let me, in fact, go back to my colleague Deepak, who joins us back on the phone line this time around. Deepak, go on. You were telling us the latest on Tahawwur Rana.
Well, Neha, the area around the NIA HQ is packed with security. I mean, a little while ago, you noticed that there was some problem in transmission of the audio. And that's because of the, deployment of jammers, of anti-riot vehicles. We've got Vikrant water cannons. So they've put in the work. There's the presence of teams of CRPF and the Delhi Police Commando Cell. I've also seen some people from, other services here. If you look at the area around here, as some visuals that I've sent already will show you, the area is completely deserted. There's a metro station right next door, the JLN Stadium metro station. Of that stadium, out of the 3 or 4 gates, 2 have been blocked completely. There are no commuters coming out of them. In fact, the entire area around the NIA HQ is deserted right now. The only people here are the other people who are employed here in the various offices, and that too, very few of them, and there are media personnel. Other than that, the area is completely deserted. And this is a sign of, the high level of security which is being maintained around the Tahawwur Rana case. Yesterday as well, he was brought from the Palam Technical Airport to the Patiala House Court. Amid tight security, even media found it difficult to catch a glimpse of Rana. And this is all, as I was saying, a mark of, the degree of importance that India has attached to this. India has extradited Rana after 17 long years. And this is the moment where the Indian polity is showing that law and order and, justice prevails in the world's largest democracy. This case will have the world's eyes on it. And India is showing how it approaches justice while bringing closure to the number of people who suffered during the mindless, horrific carnage of 26/11. Over to you.
Also the fact, Deepak, that, Tahawwur Rana's revelations could expose missing links in the 26/11 attack, and it is clearly going to be a major concern for Pakistan, isn't it?
Of course. See, since yesterday, Pakistan has been attempting to distance itself from Tahawwur Rana. And quite, the fact is, the Pakistani NIA actually brought out a statement saying that he hasn't, renewed his citizenship in 20 long years. But the fact of the matter is that out of those 20 years, for 17 years, he was in fact, going through various trials and tribulations under the judicial system. So this argument is kind of a spin by the Pakistani spin doctors. Furthermore, he was a serving officer in the Pakistani army, in the medical corps, in fact. And once he left Pakistan, it is not entirely clear if he was discharged or not. In fact, the common suspicion is that he was an ISI asset operating under the guise of a Western citizen. And he used that passport to great effect. He was able to found this agency called First World Immigration Services. And he brought on David Headley as one of his partners. It is owing to the work of First World Immigration Services, which also opened an office in Mumbai, through which Headley was able to reconnoiter the different targets that had been selected by the extremists. So Rana's role in this entire conspiracy is quite central, and he'll be able to reveal the inner workings of the shadowy world of the ISI and the nexus between state powers and these so-called, free actors who act at the behest of a narco-nuclear state and have done nothing but spread terror across the world. So this case is of extreme importance
not just for the victims of 26/11, but also for the Indian judicial system, for the Indian people, and for people who suffered from terrorism everywhere.
Thank you very much for joining us with all of those important insights. In fact, NIA's former Inspector General Loknath Behra also shares his insights on the matter. Let's quickly take a listen.
What are the dots we are going to connect from Tahawwur Rana, sir?
So I should say that this is a very important day and day for celebration, and India should celebrate because going by my experience of extraditing various people during my tenure in the CBI and as well as NIA, this is one of the biggest extraditions in the recent past. Though it took a little time because of the complexities involved, including legal complexities, but anyway, we got him. See, there is actually saying that Karthik, you are actually making a mention that ये तो छोटा आदमी है, इसमें क्या है ये. It is not like that. Because see, the thing is that, see, he is a charge-sheeted person in two cases. One by the NIA, another by the Mumbai police. And there he is actually the facilitator, as we understand, on the basis of evidence collected so far, that he acted as a facilitator for David Coleman Headley. David Coleman Headley's role was actually something, and which actually was boosted, helped, assisted by actually all these people who actually did something which all of you know that what he did. But that is the only understanding. Beyond that, what really had happened, we do not know, because unlike David Coleman Headley, we did not get the access to Rana to speak. So what he was doing, actually he floated a company and he actually, put Headley as one of his employees so that nobody can actually suspect his activities in Mumbai and other places. But beyond that, do I know, after investigating this case for a long time, that who is the handler for Rana? We don't know.
Yes.
Who are the other people who he contacted in India? And who are the other people who contacted elsewhere? And what was the Denmark plot? And whether there was a link to India? These things are not known. So his extradition is important. And he is an important person. Please trust me, because I have handled this case. He is a very important person, as good as any other person's name which you have mentioned.
That's right.
See,
Loknathji.
in
Loknathji.
terrorism, what you understand is that, see, the persons who plot, plan, they are more important than the persons who go and shoot, because they know most of the things. And we believe that Rana might be knowing something which we do not know.
Absolutely.
So that is why this extradition is very, very crucial.
Absolutely. Loknathji, you gave a very firm answer to all those people, all those skeptics who said that, it's not a big catch and what will we reveal after 17 long years. Thank you for saying that. But I have another question for you. These shadowy personalities of Sajid Mir and of course Major Iqbal, who were instructing, who were coordinating the operations from Pakistan. Do you think that Tahawwur Rana will also reveal the reality of these people sitting in Pakistan? And secondly, do you think that Tahawwur Rana going to Canada, then going to Chicago, and then having this so-called immigration firm, all this while, was this operation of the ISI, was the coordinating this entire thing for the ISI?
See, my answer will be very conjectural, not based on evidence. Actually, when we interrogate, when investigators can always only talk with authority when there is evidence or document on record. So what as you very correctly said, I also mentioned that who were the handlers of Rana? If you ask me who are the handlers of David Coleman Headley, I will tell you, because it is there on record. But for us, actually, this is not there. So whether you name two persons, Sajid Mir and Major Iqbal, whether they were handling or somebody else was handling, then actually the scenario changes. So it is up to the actually the investigating agencies and other security agencies, intelligence agencies, to put their best foot forward, which they are capable of, to find out these things. And this will be good for the country. I'm telling you, this is will be very beneficial to the country to thwart and to avoid such kind of attacks, etc. in future. Because we can plan. If they plan, we can also counter plan. That is what we actually do.
Hera, before I let go of you, how is Rana testimony going to implicate Pakistan directly? Can you just tell our viewers this?
No. The question is that, look, see, as you say that in Indian law, the accused statement has no value. Actually, no evidentiary value. Accused statement can be used as an information. On the basis of that, you can actually convert those information to evidence. So his testimony is not going to be, unless he gives a testimony before a magistrate under 164, a confession, it has no value, evidentiary value. But the question is that the kind of things which are going to be told to or elicited from him will be very crucial to know really the gray areas which were there in the whole kind of conspiracy. There are so many things there, so many dents there, which can be actually filled up by his statement. That is the importance of that. Let us know who are there, whether there were people in India who are helping them. That is also a question we can always ask.